So the attention now turns to San Francisco, where the Tigers are going to be taking a 2-game series in the Bay Area, heading to a team that is 39-33 and third in the NL West. On Tuesday, Tarek Skubal is going to be facing off against Carlos Rondon. On Wednesday in the afternoon, it's a 3:45 start. Ronnie Garcia is going to be facing off against Alex Wood. That's your pitching matchups. There's a lot to look at when we talk about these pitching matchups. First of all, Skubal's got to rebound. He's had 3 bad starts in a row. It's time for him to make the adjustment. Carlos Rondon is a very good pitcher, someone that should have been in Old English D this season, but alas, he is not. He's pitching for the Giants. He's currently 6-4 with a 2.70 ERA. On Wednesday, Ronnie Garcia has a great outing from Arizona that he can build on against Alex Wood, who has an elevated ERA. Now, hopefully, the Tigers can at least scratch out one of these games, maybe split this 2-game series, and head back to Detroit for their weekend series with the Kansas City Royals. And last week, I gave you a segment in the preview where I said this is what the team that we're facing does well, and this is what the team that we're facing doesn't necessarily do well. And so I want to get into that as we end this segment here. So what do the Giants do? I was looking through the numbers and looking at what they do. They have a pretty good offense. They're 9th in the MLB in total runs scored on the season. They're 8th in the MLB in runs created plus, weighted runs created plus. So when they get on base, they are creating runs. And they're getting on base 10% of the time by walking. So they draw walks, which leaves our pitchers with a catch-22 because you can't flirt with the edges because of their plate discipline. You can't necessarily put the ball right down the middle either because that's never a good strategy. So our pitchers really have to find a way to get them off kilter, throw inside, move their feet, make them uncomfortable. Don't let them barrel the ball up, but make sure that you're living around the plate so hopefully those close pitches get called strikes and not balls, and we don't let them walk 10% of their at-bats. Another thing they do well is, according to Fangraphs, they have one of the best top pitching staff in Major League Baseball. They have currently a FIP of 353, which is pretty decent for an entire staff, and they only strike out opposing hitters about 8% of the time. And looking at their batting average on balls in play, hitters are hitting at a clip of 304 when the ball's put in play against the Giants. So there's definitely an opportunity against their pitching staff to hit the ball like we did in Arizona and make sure that we are creating the runs and not giving them an opportunity to create runs. And here's the reason why that batting average is probably so high is their defense ranks worst in Major League Baseball according to Fangraphs dashboard. If the ball gets put in play, they're really struggling to convert those into outs. So it's going to be a quick 2-game series. It starts Tuesday night at about 9:45. And it's going to conclude Wednesday afternoon at 3:45. And the goal here for the Tigers, who are not a very good road team this season, the goal for them is to win one of these games. Split. If you could sweep, obviously that's icing on the cake, but you cannot get swept. There is no room for error anymore in this season for you to be swept as a baseball team.
I'ma get it, you know I be on the way.